The Jets have some injuries that will rule several players out for the Bills game. The Bills have a big injury. What does it all mean? Who is set to step up in these various roles? Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe. If you're watching on the YouTube, we appreciate it. We have over 8,000 subscribers strong, and as I mentioned on social media this week, we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary. And wow, there's been some really cool moments in this show's history, which has been a lot of fun. And I shared some of them on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and other places, like interviewing one of the icons of this business that was a role model of sorts, and Mike Greenberg with Mike and Mike and everything he's done. And from players like Nick Mangold and Garrett Wilson and Tyler Conklin and George Fant and Damian Woody, past, present, all those have been cool. Mike Tannenbaums. But one of the coolest I ever did, and I will go to my grave with this, has nothing to do with the Jets, as a matter of fact. It was Emmitt Smith and getting that opportunity to speak to my father's favorite player. And at the beginning of the interview, explaining to him how my dad used to yell, "Emmitt!" and run through the house with the Dallas Cowboys flag before every game, and see Emmitt smile and accept that story that I gave him. Like, I will have that forever in my brain. So I just, when I was like 5 years, well, it's pretty crazy. I was sort of looking around at all the things I've done in 5 years. You don't get this moves too fast. You'll get a lot of time to look back and say, yeah, look at how impressive I am with all these guests and things of that nature. But that was pretty cool looking back on, holy freaking crap, look at all these people, including that one. And the reason I bring that up is because our guest on today's show is one of our favorite guests. It's my father, Hop on Pop, who got to have that memory forever. So shout out to Emmitt Smith, the leading rusher in NFL history. What's up, Pop?
Hey now. It's been a long time coming. That's a great memory. But you know what else has been a long time coming? It's been a long time for the postman to deliver this T-shirt I'm wearing.
Okay, let's see. All right, we have a big... wow. How colorful. Look at that. The Moron T-shirt. And folks, if you guys want the Moron T-shirt or anything else in the merch shop, which is in the link down below, this is the old merch shop, and the old merch shop is getting old yellered. So all the items in there will not make the transition over to our new merch shop that's being created. So that will be your last opportunity to get any of those items if you guys would like. So just a heads up, not everything will be making the transition over. I just talked to my merch person yesterday as they continue to work on that behind the scenes. And hopefully we'll have some headway here soon on a lot of those items, including that BG hat that's resting on my father's head. That one, another one coming up there in the future. So, all right, let's go, baby. Let's get right into it here. There's a lot of injuries for the Jets real quick. As expected, things were official with the final injury report on Friday, Pop. No Josh Reynolds, the Jets starting receiver. He played 97% of the snaps last week, so the Jets will have to replace him. Their lead return man, Kene Nguanu, is out with a hamstring, and it could be several games that he's out. Their second leading return man got waived, and he didn't have to move far. The New York Giants down the street. He did a lot of that. Those were mostly fair catches for Xavier Gipson, the ones that he didn't fumble, of course. And the last piece of the puzzle is Jay Tufele, our favorite preseason hero. He's dealing with some illness, personal situation, so he's out as well. So those are the injuries out for the Jets. But the key injury out for the Buffalo Bills is Ed Oliver, who a lot of people called the best defensive player in football in week 1 based on his performance against the Baltimore Ravens, and he is out. So what does that mean? Well, we have a full article in the YouTube description down below, Pop, and that means a couple of rookies are expected to step up for the Buffalo Bills. That is Deion Walker, a guy that Pop had often in his mock drafts, that ended up going to the Bills, and TJ Sanders, another defensive tackle who Pop also had going to the Jets in one of his mock drafts. And the reason why I bring that up is because of the headline, right? Boy Green Daily, Bills draft trades could come back to haunt Jets after Ed Oliver injury. What do I mean by that? Well, I've been listening to a few Bills podcasts to say, okay, Oliver's out, so who's stepping up? Who is the lead starter going to be? That will be TJ Sanders. That's their second-round draft choice this year. He was selected 41st overall, Pop, and twice during this draft, the Bills traded up just a spot ahead of the Jets. And from what we have been told in the rumor universe, the Bills believed they were taking that player away from the Jets, who they believe would have drafted him, in TJ Sanders and Deion Walker in the 4th round. Deion Walker was 109th overall. The Jets picked 110th. They went Aaron Smith. The Bills took TJ Sanders 41st overall. The Jets went Mason Taylor 42nd. So there is some belief that the Jets may have gone after one of those defensive tackles if the Bills did not snipe them and trade up in front of them to get them. So now those same players the Bills traded up for are now going to be called upon to fill in for Ed Oliver during this absence. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I think the Jets did fine with the draft. You got to trust them. I think we had a lot of extra picks that we could have, squeaked up. And by the way, Deion Walker, I'm not sure if they have a scale that he put both feet on there and over there in Buffalo, because they have him tilting it at 331. I think his other foot may not have been on the scale. That dude is closer to 400.
Yeah,
he was an interesting prospect. I really wanted the Jets exactly what the Jets needed, right? Because he just by going to the line of scrimmage,
right, doing nothing, right? Yeah, right.
Right. I believe his nickname is the Mountain.
Yeah.
And
by the way, when I went to Bill's training camp, I got to meet Deion Walker, stand next to Deion Walker for an interview, and he is as big as he appears on. Or bigger, quite frankly. It's just a towering man. When he walked over, I recognized both the size and the jersey number. And so we did an interview with him when he was at Bills camp, and I was like, good Lord, have mercy. And on this Bills team, he's not a starter. So, he's sort of buried on the depth chart, not buried by size, so you can't miss him, but he was buried on the depth chart by the other people that they have in the room. So it's sort of interesting that they haven't used him a lot, or TJ Sanders for that matter. He only played 16 snaps in week 1, but those are the two rookies that are going to be called upon here, Pop.
Yeah, it's interesting with we've lost the reverence that for a long time the National Football League had for players' numbers. Like, you got to be this to be this, lineman got to be this, because since that's gone, why don't we, as appropriate, his jersey's being up, put 3 numbers on there, why not?
Yeah.
Right. There's enough material. So,
I like that. Yeah.
But so, that'll be interesting. The Bills gave up a lot of rushing yards with the player, their star defensive tackle in the game. So it'll be interesting. Now he's not in the game. How much worse can they be? So that's going to be a key. Some of the other injuries you mentioned, not quite as impactful as you can say.
Yeah, well, let's go through a few things here. First off, on just the Ed Oliver thing, I don't think either, and no one should expect this, neither of these players stepping in will be as good as Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver was spectacular in week 1, so that is a net positive for the New York Jets. And Breece Hall, by the way, that's also in the article in the YouTube description down below, who's asked, hey, whoa, Ed Oliver just got ruled out while the media was in the locker room interviewing him, and he said, "quote Yeah, he's a game changer. That's something we're going to have to take advantage of. But I'm sure they have some other good players over there. He's a very great player, so I'm sure they're going to miss him. Regardless of who is in the game, we still got to go out there and execute." End quote. And that feels like an important notation because, as I wrote in the piece, last season, Pop, heading into Week 1, 2024. Christian McCaffrey's out. Woo, suckers. Woo. Oh, yeah. Here we go, Jets. Going to take advantage of this slappy 49ers team. Who the hell is Jordan Mason? Who the hell is this guy? And Jordan Mason ran for 150 yards against the Jets and went buck wild. And, of course, the 49ers won by multiple scores. So the point of this is this. I'm not saying the Bills are just going to run all over the Jets literally and figuratively. I just mean are the Bills worse without Ed Oliver? Obviously. Ed Oliver's really good. So, yes, they are worse. Does this guarantee victory for the Jets? Absolutely not. So, you sort of have to handle your own business, accept what the football gods have gifted you, but don't just assume that the Bills are going to roll over here. Josh Allen didn't die. So I just think that's a healthy reminder that's very recent in our past. I'm sure there's other examples throughout recent history of like a key player being out and someone stepping up, and that stepping up person did a halfway decent job. So that's just something to consider here based on last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk to that when we get to the, talking specifics about the game. But yes, it is a factor. It is a variable that has happened, and now the Jets need to play to their strengths, and we'll see what happens.
All right, let's get to those Jets injuries you mentioned in the least or less impactful category. So let's bring up the three guys. So Jay Tufele played 30% of the snaps last week. As much and as cool as it was against the Packers where he looked like Aaron Donald, I mean, he's sort of inconsequential. The Jets have a lot of defensive tackles now after the trade. So Jay Tufele, let's take that chess piece off the board. He's not available. Pass the biscuits. Who cares? Now we've got the other two. Kene Nguanu feels pretty impactful because he's a former All-Pro return man. He got hurt during the Steelers game. It looks like he's going to be hurt for several weeks. And the Jets' next guy up, Xavier Gibson, who is now no longer on the team. He's on the New York Giants, not the New York Jets. The Jets now have to turn to some potential choppy waters here. They signed Isaiah Williams. They stole him off the Cincinnati Bengals practice squad. If I had to guess, based on everything we're hearing, he looks like he's going to be the lead return man, although there's two in kickoff return scenarios, one in punt return situations. Arian Smith could be another option. Isaiah Davis could be another option. People have brought up Andre Sisco. I don't remember Andre Sisco doing a lot of punt returns for Syracuse, so I forgot that completely. So you guys can have the stats and double check me, I guess. That's a name I hear a lot in the comment section all the time when we're talking about returners, but maybe that was a little bit in training camp. So anywho, those are some of the names that are going to be available. He seems pretty impactful, but I would agree with your other point on Josh Reynolds, and you can feel free to comment on Kene Nguanu as well. Josh Reynolds played a lot of snaps. He's a clear wide receiver to this team by snap count and things of that nature. But production, we're talking about like 2 catches for like 20 yards or something. So he should be one of the most replaceable starters on the Jets roster, considering this injury, that someone else should be able to step up and fill the void of what he has left here.
Yeah. You often give me, revolt against my concept that defensive players need to make tackles and interceptions.
All right.
I think that's an important stat. You are less concerned with it. I have a similar concept that Josh Reynolds played, 97% of the snaps or whatever.
That's correct. 97% of snaps. That's
97%. And, I'm this crazy guy that I like receiver stats to be catches. Catches.
Yeah.
And so you're like, is it an anomaly that Josh Reynolds played that much and had 2 catches? Let's just look. Hold on. I've got it right here. Got some paperwork right here. Yeah. It looks like Josh Reynolds averages for the past 8 years 2 catches per game for 8 years.
Right on track. That's consistent. So I respect that.
So I'm not sure. He is consistent. Normally that will get you bagging groceries at the Stop and Shop. So, the more interesting part not that far away from him, statistically speaking, almost identical stats in the history of their careers, is Woody's favorite wide receiver, Alan Lazard, who averages about 2.5 catches for his 7-year career. So the good news is the Jets have a like-for-like replacement for Josh Reynolds.
I would agree with that. I would say the only thing that's different in my mind between those two individuals is that they're both tall, big receivers, so the run blocking is the same, which fine, great, phenomenal. The drop percentage of Alan Lazard leading the league in drop percentage the last 2 years scares me. That whatever limited opportunities Josh Reynolds got, it was reliable. He caught the 2 targets that were thrown his way or whatever it was. I can double check here in a second. Alan Lazard, in those same scenarios, if and when called upon, because I assume not only is he going to be active, wouldn't he be a starter? I imagine there's 3 starting receivers for the Jets against the Bills is going to be in no particular order, but in this case, I guess it is a particular order. Garrett Wilson, Tyler Johnson, and Alan Lazard. So he just went from healthy scratch to boop, get out there, whoosh, get out in the lineup. So that's the thing that scares me a little bit is that, again, that Alan Lazard, because like people have brought up Arian Smith, he only played six snaps in week 1. That doesn't mean he can't play a lot more this week, but I think the Jets are saying something here that perhaps he's not ready to roll.
Yeah, I do think, going back to the return, Cisco did have 3 return touchdowns his freshman year at Syracuse.
Okay, I
and
totally
then
forgot
injuries
those.
prevented him from getting on the field. But I think, you really, every member of the team's got to contribute and work their full paycheck. And so Alan Lazard, I would not put his old ass back there. But Cisco, I believe, and I'm, someone can definitely correct me. I thought Arian Smith had some history returning some kicks, and
in
with
high school, I believe, not college.
Getting that speed right. I would have had him back there in this week in practice, right? Because speed kills, and putting that to use would have been a good idea.
For sure. Another good idea is gifting Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, and I see our boy MFC just did that, which we appreciate. So let's get right to it, baby. MFC, here we go. That's what I'm talking about, and thank you for your support here on a Saturday. Yeah. Here is the new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. That is Dizzy Jazz. Dizzy Jazz, you are now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club and MFC. You have 9 raffle tickets to our contest this month, which we appreciate. Thank you very kindly. And Pop, speaking of raffles, let's get to this real quick, and then we can get into return conversations and calls and all that other jazz. Is our Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior raffle that you've been running here, where 50% of the proceeds goes to the Wounded Warrior Project, 50% goes to our winner, which will be determined live on Sunday, October 5th for our Jets-Cowboys game in the tailgate parking lot. And people are allowed to submit money up through Saturday night, October 4th at midnight. They can send in their money. And Pop, are you ready for the reveal of our top donators, all our donators, quite frankly, and all that?
Yeah, just 1 minute. So what I've done my half-ass way of explaining what the Wounded Warriors does.
Yeah, okay.
What it is, but I would like to do is actually read their mission statement.
Oh, please. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So explain to people what it's all about and again, why we're supporting this charity, please. Yes.
Yeah. So Wounded Warrior Project's mission is to honor and empower wounded warriors by keeping the promise to help them rebuild their lives with purpose and renewed hope. The organization provides a range of program and services to assist service members returning from conflict, ensuring they receive care, support, and a path forward through their transition to civilian life. It's rooted in honoring their service and sacrifice of those that have been injured protecting our country.
Wow. Well said there, Pop. Very moving. And that's why we've selected this charity. This is a charity we supported for a long time, Pop, and it only makes sense to continue to do that. So First off, for those who are just seeing this for the first time, again, we're raising funds for the Wounded Warrior Project. Again, 50% of the proceeds it goes to the WWP here. 50% goes to you, whoever that winner is. Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. Anything you give to this channel, super chat, super stickers, memberships, things that nature is a separate raffle entirely, which I'll show and talk to you about later. This is an exclusive, different thing. The only way to send your money in for the Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffles through my father's pay networks here, which I'm about to describe. And if those two on your screen, Venmo or PayPal, do not work for you, please reach out to me and we can figure out another way. A few people have done that. So real quick, I'll put my email up on the screen. That is my first name, middle initial, last name, jr@gmail.com. That is PAULAESDENJR@gmail.com. If this moves you in some way and you're like, hey, Paul, I want to contribute, but I'm not on Venmo or PayPal, explain to me how I can do this. There's a few other ways that we can try to figure out for you if you would like to donate for this. So that is the way to do it. But if you do have Venmo or PayPal, then this is the perfect opportunity. Venmo at Paul-Esden, PAUL-ESDEN, or PayPal at HopOnPop22, all one word. Again, this is a wonderful cause, and the top donator from this contest will receive a surprise gift package, including several items, which Pop's about to add another one to the pile here, and we'll talk about that here on the show. Pop, are you ready to reveal how much money's been donated so far and who those donators are?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for those of us that or the OG crowd out there, remember on Labor Day used to be the Jerry Lewis Telethon. And there was a big, he would stay up for, that 24, 30 hours, whatever it was. He would be on TV, like he's going to pass out. But anyways, they do the drum roll, the big reveal. And here's the latest up to date. So if I had the drum roll, or if Ed McMahon was still alive, he also did the Jerry Lewis Telethon. I would have him. But since we don't have either of those things, here we go.
Yeah, let me see. Do I have anything at all remotely that would play into this? And absolutely not. There's, I guess, this. Which is always appropriate on this program, but nonetheless, here we go. Let's throw it up here on the big board. This is the Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior 50/50 raffle update. And I just want to give a big salute before I say anything, just to this overall total, that we have raised nearly $1,200 for the Wounded Warrior Project and the winner, because it'll be split, of course, but $1,200 has been raised is amazing. Look at all these wonderful Boy Green Coffee Club members and beyond that have decided to contribute, which means the world. So, Pop, would you like to read through this?
I'm not sure I could do justice by reading through it, but I'll do the top 5. How's that?
Sure. Okay, yeah.
All right, so the top 5, and not that we don't appreciate everybody on the list.
Yeah.
We got Mac Jets for Life is our current leader. Number one Austin Jet fans right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Ezzo, which I believe is Philium. Is that Philium?
I don't believe so. No, I believe it's a different Phil.
Shad Johnson, Michael Verdi, Scotty Mayhem. Thank you.
Yep.
Frank for Lily. Yep. Paul Taylor, Big Country, Solitary Man, Snowball, Old Jank, Philip Lamer, James Cafaro, Ed Vargas, which always reminds me of the Christmas story, even though I know that's a different name.
Yeah.
Frank Corvino, Mother Effin' Chew. There you go. Thank you all for your donations.
Well, Pop, I want to appreciate you saying I refuse to read the entire list and then going on to read the entire list. That was well done there. Fuck you, pal. I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's go about doing exactly what was requested. And Mahar Khalil, for those, if you guys can't see the Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior raffle, he is our current leader with $400. Thank you, Mahar Khalil, for your very generous donations to charity, which are amazing. And thank you to everyone, quite frankly, that's on this list. Because, again, it takes, my Pop said it, something about 50 cents on a couch and rubbing two nickels together and making memories. I'm not sure. There's something about that in recent weeks, but the fact of the matter is, look at all these people that have stepped up when charity is called upon here, which is pretty cool. So Mahar Khalil, you're in the lead running here with only a handful of weeks left, 3 weeks or so left in this contest, which means you would win that top donator package, which we will be revealing here in short order. And yeah, good luck to all you guys. So again, the top, let me just reiterate what all this means. The top donator, whoever donates the most money, okay, that doesn't guarantee they're going to win because it's at random. But the top donator, what they will win, and it guarantees, is a special package of gifts, items, and prizes I think that you're really going to appreciate, including some autographed NFL merch will be included in there, which I think whoever that winner is going to really appreciate. Because as you see in our raffle that's scrolling down on the ticker down below, just because you're the number one gifter does not always mean you win the contest. And sometimes you leave, quote unquote, empty handed. That will not happen for this charity efforts. Me and my pop just felt like we had to do something for whoever that top person was, and we certainly will. So again, I want to thank everyone who is featured here, obviously, on this list of people that have donated so far. So you guys are all in the running. Raffle tickets, I want to reiterate, are $1 a piece. In my raffle on my YouTube show that you guys super chat and all that, it's $3 a piece. So you're getting even more bang for your buck for the Wounded Warrior Project, which makes a lot of sense for charity. So every raffle ticket is $1. So Mahar Khalil, $400. Well, that's 400 raffle tickets. So again, the more raffle tickets you have, the better your odds are. But really, this is all for charity. So hopefully that is motivating for a lot of you out there. Again, you guys can send your money to my father's Venmo or PayPal if you'd like to get involved. And if you can't, for whatever reason, and are unable to access PayPal or Venmo, my email there on the screen, reach out and say, hey, Paul, what's all this about? What can I do? Help me out. And like I said, we can figure out and fill in the void. I've already had several people maximize and utilize that function there on your screen. Papa, anything you want to say about the Wounded Warrior Project donation so far, anything of that nature?
Nope. I'll give a little specific. It looks like the prize kit will be 3 items, and I will reveal one of them.
Oh, okay.
Right now. And as a matter of fact,
sure.
if you're watching Boy Green Daily yesterday, you already know what it is. It is. And could you display it for us, please?
Sure. Yeah, I actually have a photo of it, so I don't have to rip it off the wall like last time. So there you go. Here is the item, and it is right here.
Yep. So we're going to get an autograph book by Bob Lederer, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football. So that will be autographed by him. That will be part of the prize package going to the largest contributor, as well as 2. Did you say 2? 2 autographed NFL memorabilia. So more to come on that. But this is part of that prize package. But there'll be 2 other items autographed by people you know in the NFL.
There you go.
At least one of them is a multi-time Pro Bowl player.
Ooh.
At least one.
Okay. All right. I like that's a great tease. So again, everybody, feel free to continue your donations for that. And also, I will show a little bit later. I don't want to put them too close together and confuse anybody. We also have our raffle that's happening here on this show. But if you can contribute to any of them, specifically the Wounded Warrior Project, obviously that holds a special place in me and my pop's heart. So let's see if we can make that happen. All right, Pop, anything else on this game you want to get off your chest, including, I know, a potential prediction coming up here before we get to the fans?
Yeah, I'll just go through my prediction, a few key points. Not the Woody 3. This is not the Woody 3. Okay. It's
Woody 3 today, by the way, just to clarify. If people are like, oh, man, 2 minutes away from Woody 3, no Woody 3 today. Woody is in travel. So no Woody 3. We'll see if some separate video is posted on the channel of him going through his Woody 3. The Woody 3 exists. I've seen it. He sent it to me, but we'll see if we can reveal that at some point. So this is the... Yeah, you got to be careful with copyright here, Pop. So whatever.
This is the Pop's whatever he wants to number. So
okay, that works. All right.
Yeah. So here's I'll talk about my keys to success for the Jets.
All right.
And then I'll tell you the things that are going to challenge it, and then I'll give my prediction.
Okay, works for me. Sure.
Yeah. So the keys to success for the Jets is to run the damn ball. And so they were 4th in the league in rushing in week 1. They committed to it, and they need to commit to it. They need to run the ball. They need to overtly eat that clock like it's a Pac-Man pellet. Keep the ball, snap that ball within 5 seconds on every play, throw it, sprinkle in play action passes, run the ball, run the clock, keep the ball away from the MVP. That is a key. The Bills, on the other hand, will attempt. They are number 1 in the league in passing the ball the most. Again, it's a small sample size, but they were number 1, tied for number 1. There's 2 teams with the number pad. I think they threw the ball 46 times last week. So, I wonder where they're going to throw it. Very odd. Who are they going to throw the ball at? Anyways, I'm sure it's not important. The problem for the Jets is the Bills don't. I love the concept, and it's another reason that Saleh is a moron, is he did not have Sauce travel, right? Sauce should have been traveling since he joined the league. The problem with the Bills is, they don't have a number 1 receiver.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, and you could take away the guy that you think is a number 1 receiver, but there's not a large separation of talent. Like on the Jets, there's a very large separation of talent. On the Bills, there's not. So you can take them away, okay, but Josh Allen's, makes every man look like Superman. So that's another detractor. So we got to keep the ball out of his hands. And then just so we can get to the callers, I'll wrap it up, right? Josh Allen had more passing yards, 30-ish more passing yards in the 4th quarter than Justin Fields had in the entire game. Mm-hmm. Just take that for a second and let that soak in. And it wasn't like, well, we didn't know he was going to throw the ball. He was only down by 3 scores. How would we know he was going to throw the ball? And he's not throwing the ball to anybody. Who's he throwing the ball to? We don't know. What's that guy's name? I don't know. Wasn't he in the stands last week? Right? Clearly. Right? And anybody that thought that Lamar Jackson should have won the MVP, all you had to do is watch the last 2 games with not a lot of time distance between them, between Buffalo and the Bills, and you realize the right person won the MVP. 250 yards passing. And the most startling stat to me is the rushing touchdown leader for the Buffalo Bills, who had Thurman Thomas. Josh Allen is the leading rushing touchdown leader for the Buffalo Bills.
In history, yes.
Yep. Yes, that is I read that and I'm like, well, this must be fake news, #fake news. So I went to a different news channel and they said the same thing. So anyways, I think the Jets have made enormous strides. I think they have an opportunity, however slight, by running the ball, keeping possession, keeping Josh Allen off the field. That's how they can be successful. And then making a play. Right, making a play, getting a turnover. If they win, it's gonna be tight. But I can't imagine anybody that watched that game this week and think that the Jets can win. And I don't think that the Jets going 0-2 is a testament to anything. They're definitely an improved team no matter what happens. I do not think they will win this game. And I picked them to win last week. They obviously could have won last week, and fuck Aaron Rodgers for his jackassery after the thing. But anyways, I digress. I don't think the Jets have a great chance of winning. I think Buffalo wins this game.
Okay. I would disagree with they don't have a great chance, but hey, that's why we play the games on Sundays. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Right. Here's what's not going to happen. I would guarantee this will not happen.
All right.
If the game goes badly, I don't think Justin Fields goes up to Aaron Glenn and goes, hey, man, I think it's time to put in Tyrod. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Aaron Glenn would probably have a security escort him off the field if he did say that.
That would
So,
probably be it. That is there's a lot of stunning things that happened during Aaron Rodgers' 2 years here. That's up there. Of in the middle of the second Bills blowout, Aaron Rodgers motions over to Aaron Glenn, says, "Yeah, I think it's about time we put Tyrod in." And
Ulbrich, right? Not Aaron Glenn.
right. Ulbrich. And then, okay, that happens on the sideline. Sure. Whatever. And then Aaron proudly says it in the post game presser to everyone. And I'm like, he didn't just say that, did he? Did he tap the helmet? And he said it and went, yep, I took myself out.
And the worst part is he had no MF and shame, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Right.
right.
Yeah.
I'm not hurt. You know what? I just kind of suck today.
I'm good. No,
I've had enough.
Yeah,
I've had enough.
So that is mercy.
What is he doing? He's like this.
Yeah, right.
Is he saying bringing the righty?
But here's the thing that I just feel great about is that after today, basically, the Aaron Rodgers thing is over. We don't have to talk about him anymore. Now, here's the one. Put this in the back of the filing cabinet. Right? If the Jets do wonderful things, because again, there was a lot of positives to take away from week one. Let's say the Jets are in the 8-9, 9-8 category, right? They're in the playoff conversation. They're somewhere in there. And this game could come back to bite them in the tuchus because I think Pittsburgh's going to be worse than people say, but let's say I'm wrong and Pittsburgh and Jets are swimming in the same waters. The Pittsburgh Steelers have the head-to-head tiebreaker, which is the number one tiebreaker in playoff scenarios. If the Jets finish 9-8, the Steelers finish 9-8, and they're the two teams battling for the 7th seed, Steelers in, Jets out. So this could come back to bite the Jets in the tuchus. We will see. The gods will lay that out there. So that is something. But besides that fun fact for the future, we won't have to talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore, which is refreshing.
It is. I did have one more fact that no other media outlet has.
Okay,
right here
yeah,
on this piece
all
of
right.
paper.
Yeah.
It's a positive sign for the Jets.
All right.
Nick Folk was seen going into a Jenny Craig meeting this week. So good news on that front.
I just don't, and by the way, you'll be very proud that Woody, in our most recent conversation, brought up, oh boy, that Nick Folk leg. And I'm like, what are you people talking about? Maybe he just gave what was necessary on the kick. Because the last time I checked, if you kick a 50-yard field goal and you just barely get it over, that's 3 points. If you kick a 50-yard field goal and you blow it through the net and a flaming hole is in it, you still get 3 points. So what style points are necessary here for Nick Folk that on just a handful of kicks here, he doesn't kick it as quite as strongly as you would have preferred? It's the same thing, man.
It's not quite as strong as I would have preferred. So what if it didn't make it?
But it did.
You think he knows? So if he either gave it all he has, which is what you'd want him to do with a 50-yard plus field goal, or
gave what was necessary.
What
was necessary. That's not worse. He gave what was necessary. He's been in the league 1,000 years. He knows how strong, obviously, that he
obviously didn't put his weight behind the kick.
Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. But again, I think Nick Folk is just fine. His leg is just dandy. And the Jets have Harrison Mevis, thicker kicker if they need a kicker. Okay, on the old PS, on the old practice squad. Before we get to the phone lines, Alon says, Pops is discounting the triplet of Buffalo Bills receivers, which are Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer, and Khalil Shakir. Very short-sighted. Good receivers. I don't know if I'd go that far. Here's Keon Coleman.
You may want to look up some English. Maybe you have like a grammar checker because that is not good. No good English there.
Okay.
So short-sighted is you unable to speak the English language. So thanks for playing. Okay, come back again when the points double.
Yeah, I would say this. I was on WGR 550 in Buffalo this week. That's the official radio home of the Buffalo Bills. And they asked me, they said, hey, Paul, is Sauce going to travel on Keon Coleman? And I was going to say, with all due respect, he's Keon Coleman. And while he had a fine effort in week one against the Baltimore Ravens, I don't think he's CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, or any of these other guys, though. AG even said it on Monday's presser that there will be weeks where Sauce is the traveling man, and there'll be weeks where it's left and right. the old days of Sauce Gardner. We're just going to roll out, and wherever you guys go, and we'll adjust based on that. So, like, if someone's going off crazy, okay, we got to make a pivot here, and Sauce is now traveling. But I would say Keon Coleman is a very mercurial wide receiver. He makes some crazy catches, but he drops simple plays too. So he's sort of polarizing from that perspective. I think Khalil Shakir is very good, although he's coming off an injury and he's a more smaller slot receiver. Fine. I don't know if they'd put Sauce on that. I think you'd rely on Michael Carter II. And Joshua Palmer, I don't know if I would go as far to say he's a good receiver. He's a fine receiver. It's just he's not a superstar. He doesn't suck. He's an NFL receiver, which is fine.
Yeah, and so Taylor Sterling, I'll reply to two of your thoughts on here.
Okay.
The first one I'd like to say, no, let's go up to the one before that.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, so nowadays, 408. Yeah, so nowadays, the 50-yarder recently in the past 5 years is literally the old 40-yard field goal.
Sure.
And so nowadays, everybody expects people. 10 years ago, people 50-yard, you're like, oh, wow, that guy just kicked a 50-yarder, right? Fantasy, even points-wise, was slated that way. Now, it's not uncommon. It's you bring a guy in, you expect him to make 50-yard field goals. That's really what I'm saying. Yeah. Skip to his next comment. Taylor Sterling said, that's exactly what I was saying. They have 3 wide receivers, 3 number 2 wide receivers. They don't have a number 1. That was exactly my point. Exactly.
And like I said, we'll see how they operate. The Buffalo Bills, on every gosh darn T-shirt in Buffalo, they have the phrase, and they've trademarked it, everybody eats. And that is to say that basically anyone at any time you do this, you zig, we zag. You zag, we zig. We could go to these guys. It's not that everyone is always going to get 3, 4, 5 catches every game, but like that they can sort of chameleon their way through games because of the players they trust or believe in. The tight ends, Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, the running backs, Ty Johnson, James Cook, Ray Davis, and all these players that are on this team, that there's a lot of different ways to pivot, that you can't just plug a hole in the sinking ship, that there's going to be a lot of other things you have to pivot to. So, hey, we'll see what happens in the game. I think obviously one of the keys in all of this is Brandon Stevens stepping up to the plate, whether it was a cleat slip issue, whether it was catching the football when he had interceptions in his hand, whether it's miscommunication. Same thing for Michael Carter II. I'll put him on blast too. Tackling, coverage, profiling, breaking down, simple coverage techniques, like a lot of these things. Michael Carter II is definitely better than that, and Brandon Stevens is better than what he showed. So the Jets need to see it, and the Jets coaching staff doubled down on Brandon Stevens because he was, the punching bag this week. They doubled down on him. Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn says, we're not giving up on Brandon Stevens after one game. We believe in him, and hopefully Brandon Stevens is a player hears that and it's like, yeah, they believe in me, and now reward their belief with action. And hopefully we'll see that on Sunday, because if I'm Josh Allen, that's exactly who I'm going after over and over and over again until he proves he could. That's what I'm saying. Until he proves he's competent, and maybe you throw it a few times and go, oh, okay, guess we got to pivot. That's exactly what I would do if I was Josh Allen. I would assume that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to double Garrett Wilson and say, all right, their quote-unquote wide receiver 2 is out, Josh Reynolds. Who's the other guy who's going to step up? We will see. By the way, one other injury note just to share. Sauce Gardner is full, ready to go. He has no injury designation, so that's great news for the Jets. And Mason Taylor, who's questionable, is expected to play, according to ESPN's Rich Cimini. He re-injured the same ankle that he hurt during camp, which gave me a little bit of heebie-jeebies earlier this week, but it sounds like he is going to be good to go, so that is good news for the New York Jets. Michael Carter II is also questionable, so we'll keep an eye on that one. I haven't heard a lot from the Jets about him, so hopefully he's good to go, because while he performed poorly last week, on the whole, he's been a pretty good slot defender for the New York Jets. All right, Pop, anything else before the phone calls here?
Yeah, just an interesting, when you look at the Bills and the Chiefs kind of the same mentality, right? With all these players getting these contracts that are over the top, right? The Bills and Chiefs recognize that they have a quarterback that they don't need to have this superstar wide receiver, and they can use that money for the rest of the team. The Chiefs let Tyreek Hill go, and you'd struggle to say they found a way to win. It wasn't as easy or as pretty. They found a way to win. Stephon Diggs left. didn't really skip too many beats in Buffalo. So, it's just some of the things that Aaron Glenn has done. You've got to figure out how to handle your money, and that's how Buffalo and Kansas City are doing it.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the phone lines here on the program. If you guys would like to call into the show, now is the time to do so. And feel free to get involved in the phone lines. What we're going to do is we're going to play a quick Hep timeout, and then your phone calls are welcome here on Boy Green Daily and beyond. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Let's go.
You're the official counter on these things, Pop. How far away are we for the Jets-Cowboys game?
We are 22 days. Emmitt Smith away. It's funny you brought him up. 21 days away from the meet and greet up on Saturday, October 4th. Mm-hmm. October 4th at midnight is the last chance to get your Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project tickets. You've got another 21 days and a few hours. But yes, 22 days from right now, we'll be standing in the parking lot going, all right, let's get some of that bacon popcorn, baby.
Oh my gosh, which I can't believe. I can't believe it's that close, but the maths. We're here in week 2. That's in week 5. So it should be a wonderful time. So I can't wait for that. Again, there's still limited meet and greet spots available for the night before. That'll be at Chef Kevin Gilbert's restaurant on Saturday, October 4th in Caldwell, New Jersey at 7:30 at night at Chef Kevin Gilbert's restaurant. If you're coming to the Jets-Cowboys game, why wouldn't you come over if you're going to have dinner? And just in general, to people, just Jet fans that are local to New Jersey, you guys can also stop by. But it is limited seating. As soon as the seating capacity is gone, I guess you could sit at other parts of the restaurant, but we'll be in a private upstairs room for this party. Let's go to the phone lines. We always kick it off with this guy, Hepster. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, Pop. How things going?
Excellent.
Awesome. As far as the tailgate goes, are you going to bring like a folding table so you can sit down and maybe do like a podcast from there?
That would be interesting. The technology thing is something we're going to have to see if we can figure out. I think what will be most likely is an impromptu PA sort of thing. And what I mean by that is like with the Sprinter. So shout out to Lou B, Super Jets fan, is bringing that massive DJ booth and everything that pertains. May just be me hopping on the mic and freewheeling it about all kinds of Jet things that could be happening and maybe some of those conversations. But yes, eventually I'd love to do that. I see Richie obviously does a great job with Jets Media and bringing it down there to do a live digital show in the middle of the parking lot. So that could be something for the future for sure. But that's always a lot of fun.
I thought it might be I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you could, some celebrities like Hep and Woody, you could do like a video that could add to your library, right?
Wow,
live from the parking lot, do a little interview with Hep and you can pull it up. And,
Hep apparently is bringing the guitar. Is that correct, Hep?
Yeah. We're going to do, I thought maybe we get everyone to sing this song. That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
Get the whole crowd. I also think we should get like the old time baseball photographs where like when you used to have the team photos. Yeah. You'd have everybody up and you take a photo and then we'll put like the names of each person.
Oh, that would be super cool. I like that. It's a great idea.
Yeah, for prosperity, like, man, remember that year? Yeah. But anyway, back to the game. I'm concerned about Josh Allen running on us. I'm wondering who's going to spy. And now hearing Michael Carter is a little wonky. That's a little concerning too. I'm wondering what's going to happen underneath and who's going to spy him. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. Again, the Michael Carter II, people will say, he didn't play great last week. Well, okay, but we expect him to play good. He's one of the highest paid nickel corners in all of football. So, he's an important piece of the puzzle, especially in run fits. People don't think about that for a nickel corner, but how it lines up defensively. He's always a factor in the box and has to be taking care of his lane. So that's important. And I don't know who the guy is. I've seen the comments lighting up the last couple of days of who would serve in that spy role. Would it be Jermaine? Would it be this guy? I don't want to make it Jermaine or Will because I want Jermaine or Will to not think twice and just go after the quarterback as they've done. Jermaine Johnson's proven to be a heat-seeking missile. In his rookie year, he took down Josh Allen on that crazy sack where Josh Allen thought he was like, yeah, some young kid. He's not going to get me. And Jermaine caught up to him and pulled him down and went crazy. That was one of his 2.5 sacks that season. And so I want him to continue to have the free will to do all of that stuff. And the same thing for Will. So I'm curious. It can't be any of the fatties. It's not going to be Quinnen. It's not going to be Harrison Phillips. So I guess it's probably got to be, right? It's got to be Quincy, I assume. I assume it's got to be one of your top 2 linebackers, or when you're 4-3, is it your sub-package third linebacker like Francisco Mauigoa or Marcelino McCrary-Ball, or, again, to your point, occasionally Michael Carter II, sort of serving in a second-level spy, maybe, you know?
The real problem is with the strength of the Jets, you know, arguably being the secondary, right? You want each lineman, each defensive tackle to maintain that lane integrity, right? Mm-hmm. And so, because you don't want them to break free. You know, if they do stunning, that's one thing, but otherwise you can't overcommit, right? And the problem with putting a secondary person on them is they get in the trucking lane, and Josh Allen will run them the blank over, right? He is not a small man. And you can watch some highlights, quite a few highlights of a secondary guy. I think he's going to step up and, I'm going to smack this little quarterback. And then he wakes up a few hours later with smelling salts.
Yeah, exactly. You know, JJ seems to give Josh Allen fits. Let's hope he has his big game coming this week. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, Hep. Yes, again, I will continue to reiterate this stat. Jermaine Johnson played 89% of the defensive snaps. That is insane. This guy blew out his Achilles in week 2 of last season, and he played nearly all of the snaps on defense. I thought for sure they would be slowly, methodically working JJ back in here. And wow. And he looked explosive. The crazy spin move where he should have had the sack on Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers threw it. It should have been intentional grounding, which wasn't called. Jermaine went right into his lap, and oh my God, that was a great play. So he played very well. I do want to give a shout out because he's just joining us in the chat. Good morning, everybody. Mahar Khalil, thank you for being the top donator to the Wounded Warrior Project. We brought this up earlier, Mahar, but I want to give you credit while you're here on the show. You are our top donator so far for the Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior 50/50 raffle with $400. That means the world and is obviously very generous of you, Mahar. So you are the lead getter at this current moment. We still have 3 weeks to go, but you are the lead current getter for our big prize pack that's going to the top donor. So Mahar Khalil, I want to thank you so much for your generosity for the Wounded Warrior Project. So I saw Mahar Khalil in here, wanted to give him a shout out.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think you probably, especially with the way the Jets want to play man defense, although if you look at the percentages, the Jets basically played 50-50 man zone last week, and it's sort of marrying the principles. Aaron Glenn is a man guy. Steve Wilkes is a zone guy. So they sort of just did all kinds of different, machinations with each other to try to marry their best things together. So we did see man and zone last week, but that also contributed to a lot of the confusion of people. Certain players think it was man and other players think it was zone on a play, which caused all kinds of big gaps in coverage. So they obviously need to get that cleaned up because Aaron Rodgers took advantage of that. Josh Allen sure as hell is going to take advantage of that. But I think that the primary thing to do is to have a spy because the Jets primarily do want to play that man defense. And when you're playing man, your back's turned to the quarterback, and that could open up some gash opportunities for JA-17.
Absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, a big shout out to your hot mom.
Gross.
To just join the chat. So Imamji is out there. Hey, honey.
Yep. There you go. Shout out to my mother. Not for any of those other things my father just said, but nonetheless. Mom. We have 300 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Again, this week we celebrated 8,000 subscribers and our 5-year anniversary coinciding all together here this week, which we appreciate. And again, it's given me some time to reflect and look at all the successes over the last 5 years, which has been pretty cool because, again, this is so Every day there's a show, and some days there's multiple shows, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go to Sunday, right, we're gonna have the pregame show at 7:30. We're gonna have the 4-hour live stream. We're gonna have the hour post game, and then there's gonna be other stuff happening on the show around it. So 5+ hours of live streaming and everything that includes. It's hard to look back when there's so much to up next day. There's a lot of work that goes into this that people don't know. So it is just crazy to look back and go, holy freaking crap, there's been a lot of cool stuff here, but I'm not retiring. I'm not dying, hopefully, later today. So, you could get hit by a bus at any time, I guess. So it just keeps trucking forward, but it is kind of a cool memento. 5 years. That's a pretty cool moment in history, and more big things to come, Pop, I think.
Absolutely. So you're doing a second, live game, as
Yes.
you're rolling this out. What we really need to do is, if we need to keep these going, we need to get a sponsor.
Sure.
Right? A sponsor for this show.
To me.
The Tommy Boy or Callahan Auto Parts post game show, or the Boy Green live, whatever.
Yeah. I'm all for it. So, yes, if there's any sponsors out there in the universe that are tickled by New York Jets coverage, or me, or both, feel free to reach out. I put up my email earlier, and here it is. Let's throw it up here on the big board for those interested. First name, middle initial, last name, jared@gmail.com. I would love to connect with you, and let's make it happen. Yes, especially these 5 hours of live coverage on game days. That'd be a cool thing to sponsor.
Yep. And as well as Boy Green Daily. I mean, at the bottom of this banner could be your company name. And we have thousands of viewers every single day. So if you're in the New York metropolitan area, New Jersey area, or have some internet business, would like to give it a bump, thousands of viewers every day. I mean, your name could be at the bottom of the screen. So it's something to think about.
There you go. My pop, also my manager here on the program of getting in on certain things we could be doing. So that's great. Yeah, let's roll. Pop, we haven't got a chance to get to some of your other points. You said you had some stuff prepared and notes and nuggets and all that stuff on Jets Bills. Is there anything we didn't get to?
Yeah, we really got to it all. It's I can't say it enough. Last week, the Jets. It's hard to imagine that they've been able to come so far in so short a time. I know we're making a lot out of a little, and I'm not putting myself in the category of Indianapolis Colts fans or calling the Giants quarterback Danny Dimes. So I'm not into that. That's a little bit much, but I've watched the Jets since you became enamored with them, and it goes back a long ways. To Rex Ryan and before. And I will tell you that I don't remember a time where the offense was the one leading the way, right? You go back to Sanchez or all those things. They held the rudder, so to speak, and didn't upsize the ship, but they weren't driving anything. And the offense led the team last week. It was pretty miraculous recovery. So no matter what happens tomorrow, this team is taking giant steps forward, and I think it's going to be exciting to watch.
It is, but the thing I just wanted to highlight here is because earlier you said you can't see how the Jets have a chance in this game against the Buffalo Bills, and I just wanted to say we go back to one of the great Rocky movies where you say, "He's just a man, Rocky. He's just a man," and you look at the Buffalo Bills are giving up 300 rushing yards to the Baltimore Ravens. That sounds like a leaky run defense, and their best defensive player is no longer playing in this game. I don't know. You say, I don't see it. Well, let me, dust off the old spectacles there, Pop. Here's how you win. You run the football down their gosh darn throat, for God's sake. So it seems like there are some opportunities there from that perspective.
Which is how I started. That they need to run the ball.
Yeah, but you said there's no chance that they win.
I didn't say there was no chance. I didn't say there was
You don't see a path. I mean.
But that's why they play the game on any given Sunday. On any given Sunday.
All right. Well.
Right. They let Aaron Rodgers luckily squeak out a victory from some pinball that Cisco should have. He pretended he was Sauce Gardner for a moment. But if you get what I'm saying there,
I'd rather not.
hey now, but yeah, that's just Josh Allen. Back in there may be a conversation between Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. If you compared 15 years ago, Aaron Rodgers, and today, Josh Allen, nowhere near the same quarterback. I just think it's going to be a tough challenge.
Okay. All right. Answer for Lily here real quick before we go back to the phone lines. Is there a percentage you would like to put on it, Pops?
I am not going to say, although I have no fear of saying anything. I think there's I haven't even looked, right? It's interesting. ESPN does that, right? They give you
FPI. Okay, take a guess on what you think FPI says about this game, the Football Power Index.
It is. I've looked at it a lot, and even when it's not a matchup like this, like some slaughter, like Syracuse Colgate, for example. Even then, it has Colgate like at 15% somehow. So I would say that indicator, it probably gives the Jets a 20% chance, 25% chance. That's my guess. I have no idea. I've not looked.
Okay. Well, why don't we just reveal it on the screen for everyone out in our audience to see how much of a chance that supposedly the Jets have. It's a 35% chance, baby. There you go. There's the ESPN FBI predictor. Well, even the analytical nerds at the back of the mothership, ESPN, believe in the Jets more than you, pal. Wow. All right. There
I
you
said
go.
25. It's not that far off.
You started at 20. And they just started sort of
20, 25. But yeah, and I would say that it probably jumped up a few percent after the injury report came out.
I'm sure it did. That could only have helped the New York Jets, I would imagine, from that perspective. Let's go back to the phone lines. It's Johnny Boy. Ah.
Hey.
Oh, look at that.
I have to say, real quick, Jets win 31-17. Jets W. Yes, we are beating the bricks off of the Bills.
Who are you with there, Johnny Boy?
It's Baby Addison.
Oh.
What's up, Addison?
Hey, is your hair the same as hers under that hat?
Nah, it's probably longer.
I meant the Cindy Lou Who thing.
Yeah. Oh, no. That doesn't have the Cindy Lou Who hair up top. Yeah, no. Does not have that. That would have been a good look. I like that.
But yeah, 31 Jets, 17 Bills. We spanked some booty. I'm at the airport, trying to cut the trip in half for the kids because it's tough. But
there you go.
Yeah. So, but keep killing it, guys. Guys, it's been an awesome show. I've been hearing you guys. Everybody's looking at me all weird and everything. Like, look at this idiot with all this Jets gear on. And I'm like, damn, Skippy, I rap no matter what. Because it's still Jets.
There you go, Addison. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. And safe travels, Johnny Boy and family, and baby Addison. So cute. Wonderful. Thank you, Johnny, for calling in. So, yeah, see? Some Jet positivity. You love to see it. And, a few Bills people, Pop, have said this week, we've done many interviews. Shout out to Sal Capaccio, Buffalo Bills sideline reporter, WGR 550 in Buffalo, who's just named the Sportsman of the Year, and they're in Buffalo. So, congratulations. Kevin Masseri, we did the Boy Green Beach Woody on Thursday, and several other Bills interviews this week. And we've heard the phrase that MetLife Stadium has been, quote unquote, a house of horrors for the Buffalo Bills. A couple of home losses to the, they travel, or road losses rather, for the Buffalo Bills in MetLife Stadium.
Zach Wilson is good.
Yeah. Zach Wilson is good. He is. Yeah. So no Zach Wilson on Sunday, but yeah, let's get to that, Pop, because we haven't gotten your real takes, I guess, on that. Justin Fields. A lot of people were talking a lot of talk about Justin Fields, and I would say the Jets didn't lose the game on Sunday against the Steelers because of Justin Fields. He was dynamic in all facets. It was one of his career days.
Yeah, I think I called in on the post-game show, and I heralded that he really played. I don't remember how many passes he didn't complete, but was it 3, 4?
Yeah, it was yeah, let
something
me pull it
22,
up
19
actually.
for 22, was it?
Yeah, that's what I believe. I remember it, but I'll have that up here in just a second here for all. Yeah, 16 of 22. So
16 and 22.
yeah, okay.
Then
But
when he had to run, he ran. When he had to run, he ran. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, he looked great. He looked great. The missing element that I really wanted to see and was trying to drive all the week was the old play action bomb. So hopefully we're just saving that for the right moments.
yeah, well, we'll see what happens there from that perspective. What do you think is the key to the game that we haven't talked enough about?
The secondary not being the weak link of the team, and even though we've talked about it, I don't think we can talk about it enough because that's really it. That's really it. Uh, we can't have 9 balls thrown our top free agent's way and him give up those passes because Josh Allen may not throw the ball anywhere else, right? And he allowed 7 catches for 75, 80 yards last week.
2 touchdowns, the
Yeah,
PI, the dropped pick. I mean, there's
the
just a
whole
lot of
thing.
bad.
Yeah. Right, which don't even hit the stats. Some of those things don't even hit the stats. And then the secondary really needs to turn the corner. And he wasn't the only member of the secondary that wasn't, had some lapses.
Yeah,
So
MC2 had some issues.
yeah. So that's the thing. I think that's really it. And then they did a good job. Every once in a while, play callers get a little too cute for their own good. They did not go that direction, which is fine. But just because, let's say, the run's not going, or don't, you got to mix it up, but don't get away from it. So stick with the run. That's going to be the run and stopping the Bills, which is going to be the secondary, and popping out a turnover, right? Somebody punch that ball out. So those couple things are that's that 35%. That's how they can turn the page.
Yeah, the one thing I would just sort of kind of add on to the pile. God, it just escaped me. What were you just referencing, Pop?
The secondary stepping up, not getting away from the run. Again, not that they had.
Oh yes, on Tanner Angstrand. Yeah, the thought escaped me for a second. The thing that it just happened so early in the game, we didn't really give it much credence. Is on the Jets' drive, they faced like a 3rd and 10, and Tanner Angstrand just ate a draw, and they were already in field goal range. It just sort of waved the white flag, saying, 3 points is good here. And 3 points was good. It was great to see Nick Folk barely make that, field goal post, as Pop likes to point out. But like, I'm not asking Justin Fields to throw a pick there, but like at least try. You never know what's going to happen. A penalty or something. So let's not be too conservative. I'm all for, taking points when points are available. But I thought on that first drive for Tanner Angstrand, which again, I'm nitpicking because the offense was really good and Tanner Angstrand did a really good job, but a little too conservative there. You want to get as many points as you can on every possible drive. Don't wave the white flag. I thought they settled for a field goal when they already were in field goal range. So again, there's nothing wrong with like a naked boot. You roll out and look. If someone's wide open, Justin, you fire it. If there's green grass, you run it. If nothing, okay, fall down and then just take the field goal you guys were operated with. So that would be one. Again, maybe I'm nitpicking on Tanner Angstrand, but, to try to get the juice out of the orange here, that's something else I probably would have tried to focus in on there.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. And I thought we talked about that during the game. Like, there's zero. As long as you have trust in your quarterback, and if you don't have trust, you give him significant guardrails. And this is exactly what I need you to do in this scenario. But shy of doing something dumb and eating a sack, most of the plays that you could have ran in that scenario, a draw play that fooled no one, right? Try for the first down, right? Come up with a quick slant, something of that nature. Get a few yards, help out. Right, 50-yard, I do say, is the new 40-yard, if you will. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try to make it closer, make it easier, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen. That was a clear missed opportunity at the beginning of the game to really get some more. Field goal is a field goal, is points on the board, but the opportunity to 7 is it's much better. And
7
literally
is
no
more.
risk.
Yeah. 7 is more than 3. That's kind of analysis we bring on Hop on Pop for, folks. I would say that I think this is a Brees Hall game. So Brees Hall looks spectacular, and the BG on Pop's hat there that he's wearing is he's a Brees guy. So I appreciate you wearing that kind of merch around here for that. That's very nice. What a hell of a game for over 100 yards rushing, 5.6 a clip, 2 catches for 38 yards. He contributed a lot of ways. To be honest, I was surprised they didn't go to the screen game more. That just seemed to work. So they only went to it once, and it was very nice. But that was sort of surprising. So, yeah, I think against this Bills defense, the Brees Hall game, again, Justin Fields increases the ceiling of Brees Hall. Because on all of those mesh point read options, which they ran somewhat, they didn't run it a lot that I remember anyway, during the game, like the Bills defense and any other defense has to make honest, real business decisions. It's not like Aaron Rodgers running read option. Yeah, we think he's handing it off on this one. Justin Fields can take it and go crazy. And we haven't seen those crazy 60, 70-yard runs yet from Justin Fields, but shoot, that's in his history. Look at the Chicago Bears profile, and there's plenty of those kind of gashes where he just takes over a game like that. So I think this could 100% be a Brees Hall game from a running perspective, a receiving perspective, and Brees Hall has had a propensity for some of those home run hits against the Buffalo Bills in the past. So that could be some of the things we see on Sunday.
Right. Yeah. That, for example, Justin Fields, the quarterback boot, right? That could have been a play on that third down, right? He turns around and there's open field in front of him. That would have shown a little more chutzpah than a draw play that fooled no one.
Yeah, I will be honest. It's interesting that Tanner Engstrand didn't do more of this. There weren't a lot of just design rollouts and make it easier for Justin half field reads. There's 3 options at the low, intermediate, and deep level, and then it's just like red card, blue card, yellow card. Justin throw it to the open guy. He was playing quarterback. He was snapping the football and going through proper progressions, feet set, and going and just playing the quarterback position. So it was curious. I'm sure there's more in the bag. I'm sure Tanner Engstrand didn't unload the entire bag in week 1. There's more, meat on the bone here. That's something I'm sort of curious because Tanner Engstrand before week 1 had no tape on what he brings to the table, relatively speaking, outside of some XFL and some college. You're making large leaps of time if you're an NFL team. So, yeah, whatever that is, he's definitely repeating that. Like, there's philosophies and things that Tanner Engstrand believes in that he's never had the opportunity to call until week 1. So there's only one game of footage for the Bills to overanalyze. And if you're Tanner Engstrand, you can fool them like nobody's business. Oh, you thought that was it? I'm going to have a completely new game plan that you're not prepared for. So hopefully Tanner Engstrand takes a little bit of the good and a little bit of the bad. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, Danny in real life, our diehard Buffalo Bills fan that loves tuning into the show that I do know in real life. He says 31-20 Buffalo, but it'll be closer than the final score indicates. So a little respect here from Danny, sort of, with a multi-score loss.
A little respect from a clown.
Yeah. Danny really loves that. Yeah, I see what you did there. Indeed. Again, I normally give the prediction on the show tomorrow, but I'll just give it early. The Jets are winning this game. Like, come on. The Jets are winning this game. The plus 6.5 on the Jets is an absolute lock. The Jets run the football. They turned the ball over only once, and that was their reject return receive man, who's not even here anymore. So see ya. So I don't know, man. I think the key is, of course, running the football, everything you said, but forcing Josh Allen into multiple turnovers, which, by the way, he's had a propensity to against the New York Jets in some of these games. Not last season. He played very clean, and quite frankly, Josh Allen played a clean season overall. That's how he got the MVP. But he's had some of those games where the Jets get him into frustration, and he gives some of those turnovers. The 2 years ago one with the Jordan Whitehead 3 picks, fumbles, Bryce Huffs and Jermaine Johnsons and other people wreaking havoc. And while some of those players aren't here anymore, I think that's the key for the Jets is creating some of those turnover opportunities, which, of course, they did not do last week.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good game. Unfortunately, I will be unlikely to see it. As
Abu Dhabi, right?
Abu Dhabi. I think the broadcasting rights, I'm not sure they're going to translate, if you will.
Well, everybody, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on a Hop on Pop Saturday. Again, we got a ton of coverage coming tomorrow. There'll be Boy Green Daily in the morning. NFL insider Matt Lombardo. That'll be at 7:30. We'll be on for about an hour. We'll come back on at 12:50 for the full live stream, which will be a watch party and play-by-play analysis of the New York Jets Buffalo Bills game of Week 2. Speaking of not having the rights, I don't have the rights to show that on the screen. So when people come in and they're disappointed, like, geez, where's the game? Well, I'm sorry, man. I can't put it up there. The NFL has not granted me that access yet. But what I will provide is, again, my play-by-play analysis, and on screen you should see, as long as the ESPN overlords agree with me on the active game cast you guys see on the screen. Will hopefully continue to update live. That's what's supposed to happen there on ESPN. That should be on your screen as well. And then we'll have the post-game show. Moments after the game, you'll hear an initial thought from me, and then we're jumping over to the post-game stream. So it will be 5+ hours of live streaming content tomorrow for all things Jets Bills. We'll have you covered from A to Z and pillar to post. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yes, and I think you'll be coming off air as I'm waking up in the morning to go to work. So
there you go. It's a beautiful thing there. Pop, let's do one last salute here to the Wounded Warrior Project. First off, let me, I guess, start with this. We've raised nearly $1,200 so far, so thank you to everyone that's contributed from big to small. It all makes a difference. Every dollar is a raffle ticket. So if you just bid one singular dollar, you're in the running for this contest. But again, while that's cool, and if you just want to win the prize money, and that's the easiest way to do it, I suppose, of having a chance, you can do that. But just remember that this is for charity. So if you can dig deeper into your pockets, if you're in a financial position to do so, feel free. We'd really appreciate it. We want to raise as much money as possible. I wanted over 1,000, and we're already there. So what more can we do over the next 3 weeks is exciting. So, here it is one more time. 50% of the proceeds will go to the Wounded Warrior Project. 50% of the proceeds will go to the winner of this contest, which will be drawn at random on Sunday, October 5th, live in the parking lot of MetLife Stadium for the New York Jets Dallas Cowboys game on Sunday, October 5th. So good luck to all of you guys. If you'd like to donate, you have to do it exclusively to my Pop's Venmo or PayPal. That is, again, at Paul-Esna on Venmo, at HopOnPop22 on PayPal. And again, if you, for some reason, have neither of those apps, but you would like to contribute, please reach out to me via email, and I will try to see if I can connect the dots for you and make it easier for you. Again, one more time, my email is Paul, ESDENJR at gmail.com. Pop, any final thoughts on your Wounded Warrior Project here?
Nope, please donate if you have an opportunity. Any donations are accepted and appreciated. And for any of those that may want to sponsor the Boy Green Daily, let's go.
My manager's out there looking, and we are open. I have not done a lot of sponsorships in this show's history. I've worked with fellow Jet fans. I have some businesses, but if you guys would like to, we're approaching 3 million views, which is unbelievable. And thank you guys for all the coverage. We had something like 10,000 views or something on all the live shows from last Sunday. From the game day coverage exclusively, which was pretty cool on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so that's a lot of impressions for your business, as my pop would like to say. So there you go.
There you go. Let's go.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning for full game day coverage of the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills in Week 2. I hope you guys could be a part of it. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure for the 400 people that are watching live right now, you guys like the video and hit subscribe on YouTube and grow the growing army of Boy Green Daily and the Boy Green Coffee Club. God bless everybody.